So they came to me and they're like, how do I market this? Hey guys, Dan Greer with Forge coming at you today for your 5-minute power up. And today we're going to be talking all about marketing your business and how I helped one couple actually scale their business to almost double their revenue in 1 year by a simple marketing tactic that costs them next to nothing. So here's like, we were having this conversation with them and like, they're like, how do we grow this business? How do we scale? Blah, 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 yada, yada. And so I helped them like understand that you got to serve your current customer more. And so we started looking at what their current customer needs. They decided they needed a building. And they're like, now, how do I market this? Do I just start telling people about it? Do I put money into advertising? Like, what do I do? And I was like, well, you can do money into advertising and that's okay. You're going to get a different quality of customer then, but you already have customers. So what if you went back to a current customer that you put containers for that is close to a major road, and they put the containers close to a major road? And he's like, well, I can think I've got one guy that's like right off the interstate that I put containers for right next to a road. I was like, great. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to go offer him to build a shelter for him between those containers and give him 2 more containers at no cost. He gets to keep them forever. You're going to donate these to him. It's going to be a marketing cost. And he's like, oh, that's expensive. And I was like, how much do you spend on meta ads every single week? And he's like, oh, we spend like $500 a month, $1,000 a month. I was like, okay. So how long does it take you to pay for this ad of these 2 containers? He's like, it'll take us like 5 months to pay for it. I was like, okay, cool. So he's going to pay for the building at cost. And the cost is going to be a little bit higher than cost. So you can actually include the cost of the containers in that cost of the building. You're going to give him 2 more containers. They're going to be single trip containers. And you are going to paint on the side of those containers. You're going to offer to refurbish the current containers that he has. And you're going to stack those containers on top of each other. And you're going to build this beautiful building with a covering that he can park equipment in. And you're going to end this deal. You're going to have for the next 5 years, you're going to put your logo and your phone number on the side of the top container, and you'll completely refurbish and repaint the bottom containers as well, so that everything looks good and they all match the same color on the outside. You're not going to like refurbish the inside, but you're going to make sure they're good and it's going to weatherproof them all, blah, blah, blah. You're going to go do an upgrade for him. You're going to really sell this, and he's going to pay you whatever the roof costs to put on it, the building above it. And he's like, really? He's like, you think I can do that? And I said, yeah, go try it and see what happens. And so he went home and I was like, here's my number, call me, because we were not at his location, right? So he goes home and he calls me 2 weeks later. He goes, you ain't going to believe this crap, Dan. I said, what? He's like, not only did the dude take me up on the offer, he wants me to extend it, and he wants to buy 4 more containers and double the size of the building. So now then it's 80 feet long and 60 feet wide instead of 40 feet by 60 feet wide. And so I've got like, now I've got to go execute on this and get these trusses built and that kind of stuff. And I was like, great, go do it, bro. What are you waiting on? This is what you wanted. This is how you expand your business. So he took something, and the guy actually is like, no, you can't give me those containers. You're going to pay for them. I want to pay for them. And he's like, no, I want to give them to you on this deal. And he wrote a contract up, and the guy actually X'd out the 5 and put a 10 on him. So it has a 10-year contract to have his name on the side of like I-70 doing this that gets tons and tons of traffic. And you know what happened? He calls me like 3 months later and he goes, Dan, you ain't going to believe this. And I said, what? I said, what ain't I going to believe? He goes, dude, I have had to hire double the size of my original team in order to just build structures above containers. And I'm getting ready to hire my own concrete crew and build my own concrete company around this. So now I can go pour floors and pour footings under containers so that they get a complete building for like $80,000, and they get double storage and they get mouse-proof storage in the containers on the side. And we're actually putting in some side doors on some of these containers to where it's like an office. And now we're modifying them for windows. And he's like, I'm going to have to hire a whole nother crew just to do modifications. And we're the only one that's doing this in like 1,000-mile radius. Nobody else is offering to do this right now. And so we've got people that are wanting to get us like 6 states over, right? All from one marketing thing that didn't cost him anything to do. So get creative with your marketing. actually ask questions and actually listen to the answers. I'm going to tell you here, this is going to be a little bit longer podcast than 5 minutes, but here's what I'm going to tell you. This dude succeeded because he asked a qualified question and he took action. That's the two things that he did that most people don't do. He listened and he took action. So get out there, take action, buy a copy of my book, Grit, Grease, and Grace, Leadership Forged in the Trenches. You can get it from gritgreasegrace.com. Catch you guys later.